Shabbat shalom and greetings to you all. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Well, as you can tell, we're in Hanukkah, Festival of Lights, the time of miracles. Now, Hanukkah is what's really known as a minor holiday. There's a lot of different types of Jewish holidays. There are major ones and there are minor ones. Passover, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, they are major holidays. Hanukkah and Purim, they're minor holidays. It's funny how it's the minor ones that are the real fun ones. They're the real celebratory holidays. And this week we celebrate the coming of light into our lives, and we do it by eating oily foods like jelly donuts and latkes. So indulge in all those things that are bad for you. Have those fries. You're exempt. You're doing it for religious purposes. Now the oil is a commemoration of the miracle of the burning holy oil when the temple was rededicated. And we burn the oil by lighting the Hanukkah candles, and we enjoy the oil by eating the foods we're not supposed to be eating. And we teach our kids to be gamblers by spinning the dreidel, which an old friend of mine considered the most popular game in the world. Now, I had my doubts, but anything's possible. Now, rumor has it was used to really cover up the secret story of Torah when its study was abolished by the Seleucids. Now, during this holiday, of course, every day you light another candle on the Hanukkah to emphasize how light grows in your life, and each candle, of course, represents something. The first candle is about God and creation. In the beginning of the Torah, God created one thing, light. He created the sun, the moon, the stars to give light to day and night and to mark the passage of time and festivals. Second candle is about holy beings, which are men and women. All of us the world over, we are the holy beings of God. Now the third candle is pointing towards the goodness of God. We are blessed by the presence and uniqueness of family and friends, and we're reminded by all those who have touched our lives. Friends, during this festival, may the blessings of peace and the promise of life come true for each and every one of you. Now, our fourth candle is about rededication of the temple. It's about solid foundations in our lives. Give thanks to the Lord for the good that he does. The fifth candle is a candle that represents God in a broken world. At the heart of our blessings is a world dedicated to healing. We are too aware of the frailty of our physical bodies, and so we call on each other to help heal each of us. The sixth candle is about the oppression of people. The oppression of people is not just something from the past. Every generation has nation waging war with nation in one way or another. Ignorance, prejudice, jealousy, false pride, and greed held in our hearts. It comes out, it's manifested in word and deed that dehumanizes and destroys. May our heart be cleansed of those attitudes by the light of life and love. Seventh candle is all about the joy and celebration in our lives, and the eighth candle is a reminder that light is everywhere and that it grows in everybody's life. Well, Hanukkah signifies the week of miracles, and what greater time than now to read about perhaps the greatest miracle of all, the miracle of Joseph saving the world. A great rabbi I know has always had this as her favorite parsha, and I can understand why. It has an incredibly powerful set of themes in it. We have the acknowledgement of the power of God, which again points to our own theme of faith. We have the lesson of saving for times of famine, which is something we all need to learn to do. The idea of recognition. Do we recognize someone by appearance, by deeds and attitude, by expectations, or by some interesting combination thereof? Joseph's brothers do not recognize him. Why should they? They believe him dead. They haven't seen him in an awfully long time. And we again see the greatest gift of all, my friends. We see the seeds of the gift of forgiveness being sown. Now, Joseph's descent and then his family's descent to Egypt represents the descent of the soul from perfection in Eden and began the wind down of Genesis. And it sets the stage for the beginning of man's climb back, as told by Moses in the book of Exodus. And that journey back, well, that's the one that we're all still on. This week we read miketz, the end. Now the Torah portion, miketz, almost always falls during the week of Hanukkah, sometimes a little after. And there's obviously a very strong link between these two. It is about the dreams of Pharaoh, and the elevation and choice of Joseph, and the dreams that we all have during this time of bringing light back into our lives. Now, what a miraculous list of things in one reading. More than anything, it is about miracles. And I hope you're all still noting the miracles of your lives. Whether it's one or two a day, note a miracle. And it still feels like a miracle to me how every week we come together and celebrate as a like-minded group in a showing of faith, as a community, a chavur, a fellowship, as we join together to express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, and hopes and dreams and wishes that does unite us all as we come together every week in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Benai. Shevet Ahim Gam. Yachad. Hine Matov. Benai. Shevet Ahim Gam. Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. And we are a community, my friends, together. We spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world, all of us. And let us continue to share the miracle of life, of love, of renewal, as we continue to send prayers on an ongoing basis to heal and renew those in need. For dear Joyce, for poor Aubrey, for Vanessa and Veronica, for Ben, for Cass, for Martin, for Manuel, and of course for Rosemary the bee. Let us take this time to think of others, to share energy and send healing renewal to all, and to everybody you can think of now, including yourself. Remember, we're only about a week away from our Change in Season Memorial Candle Lighting Service, so you can continue to send emails with the name of those you want prayers for. And remember, friends, it is the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each and every one of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, we know, never dies. Me, Shemera, Avoteinu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed the world over, my friends. Now, last week we met the Baal Ha'alamot, the Dream Master. Joseph foretold the dream meanings to the two prisoners at the end, the butler and the cupbearer, and he interpreted them correctly, and he asked one thing only. He asked that he be remembered. Well, it's 2 years later, Genesis 41:1, and it happened at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed. And the 2 dreams of Pharaoh are the dreams that would change history. And you might have noticed that we've begun to see a biblical reality taking place. Doubles have special meaning. The double name calling that we saw before, signifying life-altering decisions. And we begin to see that double dreams do come true. Well, Pharaoh's 2 dreams are one. The dream of the thin cows and the fat cows, and the dream of the meager ears of corn and the full ones, well, they say the same thing. But Pharaoh's quite troubled by this, and he seeks their meaning from whoever can provide it for him. I've just closed my eyes again. Climbed aboard the dream weaver train. Driver, take away my worries of today. Leave tomorrow behind. Oh, dream weaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Oh, dream weaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. You know, the darkest dream, my friends, is not so bad in the morning light. Now, is it? Well, we all know those dreams. And because no one can interpret them correctly, Joseph is remembered and summoned. He was 17 when he went to Egypt, and now he is 30. He's experienced a lot. He has grown. He is raised from the pit of prison and brought to Pharaoh, where he listens and pronounces the meaning. Genesis 41:16. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, not I. God will answer for Pharaoh's well-being. Not I, but God. Now we see the growth and maturity of the narcissist, recognizing it is God, not he. He is but the mouthpiece. Joseph said to Pharaoh, Pharaoh's dream is one. What God is about to do, he has told Pharaoh, the 7 goodly cows are 7 years, and the 7 years of grain are 7 years. The dream is one. The 7 meager and foul cows who come up after them are 7 years. And the 7 meager ears of grain blasted by the east wind will be 7 years of famine. Now what God is about to do, he has shown Pharaoh, look, 7 years are coming of great plenty through all the land of Egypt, and 7 years of famine will arise after them, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine will ravage the land. And you'll not be able to tell there was plenty in the land because of that famine afterward, for it will be very grave. And the repeating of the dream to Pharaoh 2 times, this means that the thing has been fixed by God, and God is hastening to do it. Now, what a powerful moment in history this is, my friends. And it does not stop there. He continues, and he actually suggests a fix. He offers a solution when none was asked for. And he finds himself the second most powerful man in the most powerful country in the world, Egypt. Now, Pharaoh did not say, prove it. Pharaoh said, we have our man. Pharaoh knew it was the word of God. Pharaoh, my friends, had faith. Joseph sets about doing what he said they should do. And during the entire time of gathering, no one questioned what he was doing and whether he had been right. And then the famine starts, and this leads to another karmic episode, because while the unprepared world starves, Jacob sends his sons down to Egypt to buy food. Genesis 42:1. And Jacob saw that there were provisions in Egypt, and Jacob said to his sons, why are you fearful? And he said, look, I've heard there are provisions in Egypt. Go down there and get us provisions from there, that we may live and not die. Well, the brothers come to Egypt. Now, from a time perspective, the 7 good years have passed, and we're partway through the years of famine. So now Joseph is like 39 or 40 when his brothers appear. Genesis 42:4. And the 10 brothers of Joseph went down to buy grain from Egypt, but Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob did not send with his brothers, for he thought, lest harm befall him. Now notice, friends, the brothers are steeped in fear. There's no food, but fear comes natural to them. And Jacob keeps back the other son of the one wife who he actually loved, and he's more than happy to sacrifice the others. Now, some might say this is a dysfunctional family. Genesis 42:8. And Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And Joseph remembered the dreams he had dreamed about them. Now, the recognition, it's a one-way street. His recognition of his brothers, and he even eats with them. And the whole time, they do not know him. They haven't seen him since he was 17, and here he is 39 or 40. My friends, this is more than a lifetime ago for somebody they anticipated was dead anyhow. They say, eat, drink, and be merry. Take the bull by the horns. I keep seeing visions of you, a lily among thorns. Everything looks a little far away to me. It's getting harder and harder to recognize the trap. Too much information, too much educated rap. Just like you told me, just like you said it would be. Well, they tell their story. They even express remorse for their dead brother, not knowing who they're with. Genesis 42:23. And they did not know that Joseph understood, for there was an interpreter between them. Now, how cool is that? Joseph sits there actually fully understanding them, but using an interpreter so they don't know that he actually understands what they're saying. Genesis 40-25, and he turned away from them and wept. This is the first of 3 times that Joseph is moved to tears by his brothers. Well, they're sent back home and told to return with their younger brother, something Jacob refuses to do until they are starving again. And so this time they bring Benjamin, and Joseph again weeps aloud. He tests his brothers, and he sets up Benjamin to be kept as a thief. Now, we're being set up to see the great development of this wise and powerful man. He will forgive his brothers and their families. We are family. I got all my brothers with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle. Make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those that you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your lives. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we do set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You do have the knowledge of what is good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Then ask forgiveness. And do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and be compassionate. Now, the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world, just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you can do that, my friends, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. Do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. And I want you to all keep on dreaming. This is the month of dreams still. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always there in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith, the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace this year. And may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness. And that is the ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You're never alone. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. So transform it into something positive. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others, bless yourself, and love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And do not stop asking questions. Do not stop seeing the miracles that take place in your lives. Explore faith. And do not accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have experienced that too. We share together, we learn together, and we help each other. And in this special month, keep on dreaming, because we are all one. And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. The last song recorded by the greatest band of all, the Beatles. And friends, there never is an end. Just as the universe keeps expanding, so does your soul. The world is yours and all the miracles that are in it. Be happy, be healthy, be helpful, be kind, be loving, be generous, be thankful. something we simply give. And the more you give, the more you get. So start noticing and sharing the miracles in your life. And I will see you all next week. Shabbat Shalom. Blessings to you all. Take care. And send those names in for the change of season. Take care. Bye.